So welcome to another live stream, guys. So today is Tuesday. So we don't have any kind of high impact news today. And tomorrow we are having FOMC meeting minutes. So expect less volatility and focus only on scalping. So before going into the session, let me marking this quadrant levels on this daily premium wick. At the same time, we are still inside this. Okay. So you can see this reaction from this wick. Okay. So let us plot where the liquidity is there. So this is the London low. So we already are way past this London session. I don't think price will come back into this range because we already crossed 50% of this level. This daily premium wick. That too we have fair value gap here. So I don't think we are coming back into this session liquidity. So I think price will just push forward, push upwards. Okay. So here we have yesterday's first presentation fair value gap, PM session. So we'll wait for the 9:30 open and we'll see what kind of reaction we'll get at these daily quadrant levels. So currently price is trading around 236. So yesterday we closed around 177. So almost 56 handles. So we have an opening range of around 56 handles. So we can see we had a divergence in London session, guys. This is a beautiful trade. You could have gone long even on a 15-minute chart. You can clearly see we had this bullish order block here, and on the next candle itself, you could have gone long and targeted this swing high and this swing high and this swing high. So this was a beautiful trade, guys. But trading London is not possible for me. This was a beautiful setup. So waiting for 9:30 open. I just I just had a doubt whether this live is working or not. Okay. Okay, guys, we have our 9:30 open, so nothing much exciting yet. So we have a bullish fair value gap here on 15-minute chart, which is coupled with the midpoint of this daily premium wick. So we'll wait for what kind of reaction we are going to get inside this bullish fair value gap. So I'm plotting this suspension block. So price is still consolidating inside this bullish fair value gap. So we want to see price move away from this bullish fair value gap. So till now, we don't have any first presentation fair value gap yet. So I want to see any divergence. So we had a rejection from this level. But we want to see a follow through, either a bearish fair value gap on a 15-second chart. So price is just consolidating, guys, till now. Nothing much exciting yet. Seeing only consolidation. And this is one of the first presented fair value gaps, guys. This CB1006 is there, right? This is one of the first presented fair value gaps. And this is also one of the first presented fair value gaps. So the kind of signature we want to see is we want to see an expansion from these levels. And this is also coinciding with, even on 1 minute chart, we have this first presentation fair value gap. You can clearly see it is PM session first presentation fair value gap, yesterday's. You can see the kind of support we are taking from this. The bodies of the candle remaining in the upper half of this 15-minute fair value gap. So if we want to remain bullish, we want to see price close above 50% of this VIX quadrant level. We want to see a closure with the body, guys. So we want to see a closure with the body. We don't want VIX if price wants to remain bullish. But on a 5-minute chart, you can see this huge rejection. You can see this again, price taking support from inside one of the first presented fair value gaps. But till now we did not have any closure with the body. So I just went long because we had a closure of this candle above 50% of this wick. But the thing is, I did not see this. We had one more 15-minute huge wick. So if price wants to remain bullish, we have to close above 50% of this wick also. So in that case, I just want to put my stop loss so I just reversed my trade because you can see price rejecting from this wick. Sorry. You can see these all overlapping candles, which is not at all good signature for bullishness. We want to see a strong candles with bullish fair value gaps. If these kind of structure is forming, then it is not strong bullishness. I just killed my trade because I want to see prices still in consolidation, guys. So now price is struck between this wick and this wick. And now we have one more wick. We have a suspension block here on a 1 minute chart. Again, I was early in putting my shorts. I thought this candle was going to close below 50% of this wick, so I went short. But I should have waited for this candle closure, guys. This is one thing I'm still struggling with my psychology. I have to wait for the candle closure. So now that we closed, you can see this 50% of this wick is being respected. The bodies of the candles closed above 50% of this wick. Next challenge is this wick. So I'll just plot this quadrant levels on this wick. So the next challenge would be to cross again 50% of this wick, again 50% of this wick. So it is very high resistance run, guys. That is why price is struggling to go up. You can see again price, struggling to go beyond 50% of this wick. So we are having a rejection. So we are having a rejection again from 50% of this wick. But again, we have this wick. So again, if it closes below this 50% of this wick, so we want to see price close below this bullish fair value gap for the price to remain bearish, so that this will become an inversion fair value gap. So we want to see this candle close below. Okay. Guys, I'll better close this trade and wait for a silver bullet hour instead. Because price is still in consolidation, there is no clear expansion yet. But so far, what we can see is price has rejected from 50% of this wick, and again, price is struggling to close below this bullish fair value gap. So, once price closes below this bullish fair value gap, we have an inversion fair value gap. So, we have 15 more seconds for the closure of this candle. So this fair value gap is today's first presentation fair value gap. If price again goes back above 50% of this bullish fair value gap, then this is not good for longs, sorry, shorts. So we want to see price remain below this bullish fair value gap because we already wicked so many times and then we crossed below this. So now this should act as a strong resistance for the price to go up. So we have to see, so we should be seeing price coming down. So we want to see this candle remain below 50% of this. If this closes above this blue zone, this bullish fair value gap again, it will be a reclaimed bullish fair value gap. Then that will be not good for shorts. So I will calibrate this wick quadrant levels. So we have closed again above. You can see this price respecting this first presentation fair value gap, and we had a rejection from this. So again, my stop loss is set. So price is so we already this candle went up and took this liquidity and came back, closed below this bullish fair value gap. So we don't want to see this candle again close above this bullish fair value gap. So I'll put my stop loss around more than 50% of this wick. We'll see what is happening with ES. ES is looking very weak, guys, when compared to Nasdaq. So Nasdaq should follow the suit. Nasdaq should follow ES. So this is the 50% of this wick. So that is why I placed my stop loss just above it. If price again comes back and closes above 50% of this wick, yeah, that's that is where my stop loss is set. So guys, there are everywhere wicks now. Wicks, 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 nothing but wicks. So what smart smart money is doing is just killing everybody, buyers and sellers. See, they're killing the sellers, buyers, again, buyers, sellers. So they're killing everybody, guys. See this bullish fair value gap, it is not at all being respected. See, so many times price went just above and below this. So these are the trading conditions which are very hard. So this is where we have to preserve our capital and we have to wait for the right opportunity. So price has been just consolidating around this fair value. Nothing is going on here. Technically, nothing is going on. But you can see ES was very weak. ES has already closed below the swing low. So we want to see some kind of fair value gap to form, guys. Just only this is completely rubbish price action. Nothing is going on here. So the reason again I try to go short is these two series of up close candles and price is trying to close below that. So this should act as a bearish order block. Once this candle closes below this candle, so this is the first presented fair value gap. So we want to see price close below this for the market to remain bearish. But still it is wicking into this first presented fair value gap. We want to see a closure with the body below this first presented fair value gap. Still market is struggling to close below this first presentation fair value gap. See again price failed to close below this first presentation fair value gap. So for this inversion fair value gap to remain valid, we want to see price close below 50% of this balanced price range. Price should not close above 50% of this balanced price range. If price is closing again above 50% of this balanced price range, then again it might reverse to the upside. So for the price to remain bearish, we want to see this subsequent candles remain below 50% of this balanced price range. So again my stop loss is hit. So now that we have price respecting this first presented fair value gap, And again, price is trying to close again above this bullish fair value gap. So then this will become a reclaimed bullish fair value gap. See, we want to see this kind of momentum, guys. So now we completely engulf this wick. So this wick is now irrelevant. Next relevance would be this wick. So we want to close above 50% of this wick. You can see again price is rejecting from midpoint of this wick, guys. I'll just put my stop loss below this representation period again. So we have a volume imbalance on the 1 minute chart. So this is the volume imbalance on 1 minute chart. We have this volume imbalance. I'm putting my stop loss below this bullish fair value gap. So for the price to remain bullish, it should not close below 50% of this fair value gap. So we can see price respecting this volume balance. The body of the candle closed above this volume balance, which is a good signature. So we want to see rejection from this volume balance and expansion to the upside. This is again frustrating price action, guys. We don't want to see this price come back and close below 50% of this bullish fair value gap. So the reason again I reverse my trade is, you can see all these candles, guys. The bodies of the candles remained inside this bearish fair value gap, and it went up and took the swing high and got rejected from the midpoint of this wick. Got rejected from the midpoint of this wick, and then it is coming down. So I think this wick is now irrelevant because we already closed below this, and even this wick is now irrelevant because we already rejected from 50% of this wick. So now we want to see this Market to close below this first presentation fair value gap, because we did the manipulation. Now we want to see expansion. So we want to see the price close below this first presentation fair value gap. ES is breaking down, guys. ES is weak when compared to Nasdaq. You can see ES is continuously making lower highs, whereas Nasdaq is not making. I think this is the divergence, guys. We had a divergence here. Nasdaq made higher high, whereas ES made lower high. So this should be a valid divergence now. So again, price is back into this volume balance. So I want to put my stop loss above 50% of this wick. So once I've seen this rejection, you can see the bodies of the candle closing below this volume balance. I added 5 more lots. So now I want to see price close below first presentation fair value gap. We have one more volume balance here. So we want to see price remain below this. We want to see price close below first presentation fair value gap, guys, for the bearishness to continue. And let me plot the quadrant levels on this wick. This candle closed below the first presentation fair value gap. So now this should act as an inversion fair value gap. So we want to see price remain below this. So again, price is trying to close above 50% of this wick. Manju, I have duty in Manju. Okay. So far we closed below 50% of this bullish fair value gap. You can see this candle closed below 50% of this wick, so which is a good sign. So we want to see price remain below first presentation fair value gap. So we want to see price close below 50% of this wick. If price is rejecting from this 50% of this wick, then that is not good for longs, shorts. So we want to see price remain below this first presentation fair value gap. So my stop loss is hit. I just wanted to add here. So once again you can see price is respecting 50% of this wick here. So that is the reason again I went long. You can see price is respecting even on a daily premium wick, 50% of the daily premium wick price is respecting. Have I not plotted this? So we have taken out this opening range 9:30 a.m. liquidity, and now we are reversing. You can see price has respected this daily wick, daily candle, premium wick midpoint. You can see this is the midpoint, this red line. Price is respecting here. You can see the bodies of the candle closing above this daily premium wick. At the same time, if you plot quadrants on this wick, you can see again price closed above this wick and took support from the midpoint of this wick, So that is the reason again I went long. So we have a volume imbalance here. We closed above this on a 1 minute chart. So now this should act as support. So what price has done is it has done complete manipulation inside this bearish fair value gap. It wigged so many times. Again, it came back up and it took out all the longs who went at the 9:30 open. So finally now price is moving away. And you can see how price again took support from this blue line, guys, which is nothing but one of the daily week quadrant levels here. At the same time, I said this is a bullish fair value gap. Again, when we closed above this 50%, again price took support from here. Again we had rejection, and this is the 1 minute chart volume imbalance. You can see the support from here. So we have a fair value gap here on a 1 minute chart. So price came back into this fair value gap, and again this balanced price range. So let me plot again quadrants on this wick. See, again we rejected from exact midpoint of this wick. So this is the breaker, guys. These two up close candles, and this entire thing is manipulation, and this is the expansion. So price again came coming back into this breaker. At the same time, we have this midpoint of this entire bullish fair value gap. So we want to see price remain above this 50% of this range. So we want to see price close with the body above 50% of this range. We don't want to see price come back into lower half of this 50%. That is a very bad signature for bullishness. The price is again coming back into this first presented fair value gap. Oh, what the hell, man? So now we want to see this candle close again above this bullish fair value gap. But this is not a good sign, guys. We wanted to see this candle close above 50% of this midpoint, but price closed below 50% of this, which is not a good signature. You can see now we are sandwiched between this bullish fair value gap and this wick. So price is just nothing but ping ponging between these two levels. So we have a bearish fair value gap which was engulfed again. So this should act as support now. If for the price to remain bullish, so again we are back into So we are now again inside first presented fair value gap. So we have this volume balance here. So you can see again this is our price came into almost 50% of this wick. So we are seeing a rejection again from this first presented fair value gap. So finally we can see this rejection from first presented fair value gap. You can say again this is one of the first presented fair value gap. See the reaction from there. Yesterday's afternoon's first presented fair value gap, PM session. So we want to see price remain below 50% of this bullish fair value gap for the bearishness to continue. It took so many paper cuts today. So we are seeing rejection again from the midpoint of this daily wick, premium wick. So we have a bearish fair value gap here. So price went up inside this bearish fair value gap. And this is today's first presented fair value gap. So price is nothing but killing both buyers and sellers, guys. It is killing both buyers and sellers. Nothing is happening here. So we want to see price again close below this daily wick midpoint. So my first take per profit is hit, guys. Ah, shit. Okay. Guys recovered the entire loss here, but I did not like the way how I traded on this chop. I took so many stupid trades. I should have waited for confirmation, and I should have taken partials at many places. So otherwise, this loss would not have been occurred at all. But I'm glad that I've cut my losses. You can see I've cut my losses. This was only the significant loss, but all the other losses you can see when I found that my direction is wrong, I cut my loss. So this is one thing I'm proud of today, but this is one thing I'm not proud of. But the rest, okay. You can see again we are rejecting from this one of the first presented fair value gaps. So we have a bullish fair value gap here, coupled with equal lows. So again, I'll plot this quadrant levels on this wick. So for the price to remain bearish, it has to close below this 50% of this wick. Again, for the price to remain bullish, it has to reject from this wick. So that too we are entering macro window now, 10:50 to 11:10. So it is better wait for the price action to give some clear direction. But so far you can see price is rejecting from 50% of this wick. So we are inside this bullish fair value gap. And we can see price is again respecting 50% of this wick, 50% of this wick. I can see all this liquidity being built up here on the buy side. Uh, Tasneem Sheikh, thanks for commenting. So, yeah, I too took so many paper cuts. You can see I took so many losses here, but finally, when price again here, when this candle closed below this swing low, that is when I went short, and this was the signature where price was rejecting inside this first presented fair value gap. So when this candle closed with rejection below this up close candle, we had a bullish order block, and that is the reason I went short here and I covered my profit here. So, but had to take so many paper cuts. But it is good not to take trades at all. Instead of losing your mental capital, it is better to not take trades. So far we are inside this 5 minute bullish fair value gap. So far you can see price is respecting midpoint of this VIX. So price is respecting this midpoints of this VIX, and I want to see this candle close above this bearish candle so that this will become a bullish order block, and my stop loss will be below 50% of this candle. So we have a clear divergence between Nasdaq and ES. Nasdaq made higher low, whereas ES has made lower low. So we have volume imbalance here. On this 1 minute chart, we have this volume imbalance. And we have divergence with ES. ES made lower low, whereas NQ made higher low. And we were inside this bullish fair value gap. So far, price has respected this bullish fair value gap. You can see bodies of the candles never went below 50% of this bullish fair value gap. So again, price has taken out my stop loss. You can see price again created equal highs here. So this divergence is also did not hold. So now we have this bearish order block. So I'll just remove all these quadrant levels. It is super confusing. So we have a bearish fair value up here. Again, we have wicks here. So we can see price went back into this bearish fair value gap and respected the midpoint of this inversion fair value gap. And you can see price has again closed below one of this first presentations. I should have waited for the price to come back at least close above this opening price. So again I was a bit early. So for the price to reverse, actually we need to close above this opening price. But when price went here, I was little bit early. I should have waited for the price to close at least above, just wick through at least the opening price of this candle. You can see so far price is respecting the new day opening gap and this lower quadrant of this daily wick. But we want to see a strong momentum candle from here. So I put my stop loss below midpoint of this candle. So you can see price has respected this new day opening gap, this midpoint of this first presented fair value gap. Again, no use. Price is chopping and chopping around. So this was my original target. I should have stayed with that shot. So we want to see price close below this bullish farewell gap. So we can see this consolidation, this expansion, again expansion, and this is reversal, market maker reversal. So this is nothing but market maker sell model. So that's it, guys, for today's live stream. So again, recovered my entire loss, but I'm really not happy the way which I traded in those consolidating conditions. I should have held my trade here actually. Here itself, I went short in this farewell gap, but when again price was coming back up, I should have held my trade here. So again, I reversed my trade here. Oh my God! Where is price heading? Price again came back into this opening price of this daily order block. and ES has came into this volume imbalance. So you can see price respecting from this quadrant level, guys. I plotted quadrant levels on this 4-hour wick. You can see price respecting this first quadrant. So we closed below this wick, guys, 4-hour wick midpoint. Even on a 5-minute chart, we closed below this. So we have a volume balance here, a volume balance. I'm putting my take profit below this Thursday's first presentation fair value gap. So now we are inside this volume imbalance coupled with this bullish order block. So we want to see a strong rejection from here. So we had a rejection from this bullish order block coupled with this volume imbalance. You can see again my stop loss is placed above this candle. This candle does not have any wick. In yesterday's stream, I already told that any candle without wick will act as liquidity and it will act as a magnet for the market. So when you are moving up, so we closed above this new day opening gap. So now this should act as support. So I use this gold back levels to target how far price can go. Uh, like you can see, price has rejected from between 41 and 29. So again, I'm expecting price to go up to minimum this range 29 and 41. So you can see again we price has closed above this first presentation fair value gap on a 15-second chart. So you can see price is making all this overlapping candles and it is slowly moving up. So this is not a strong signature for bullishness, guys. So this is all nothing but market makers are engineering liquidity. This swing low, this swing low, this swing low, again this swing low. So this entire thing is nothing but engineering liquidity. The market will go up and again it will reject from somewhere. I don't know whether today or tomorrow. So this entire thing is they are building liquidity. And going back to my original stop loss. So we can see price rejected twice from this first presented fair value gap. But I was anticipating price to come up above this candle. See again this overlapping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So this entire price action is nothing but engineering liquidity. So price again came into this bullish fair value gap coupled with this new day opening gap. That's it, guys. I'm done for today. It's the worst price action, but we had a good expansion in between. Uh, so I did a mistake. I should have seen this when price closed below these up close candles, and we had a series of rejection from this first presented fair value gap. I should have immediately changed my bias, but I was holding my trade to close above this wickless candle. So that was my mistake.